This is America. This is America. What's up, y'all? This is AJ. We are back on the What We Gonna Do podcast. Oh, it feels good to be back. It always feels good to be back. So, as you can see, this one is definitely a different tone, but on message. Today we are talking about music specifically. This is America. This is America. But I got a few other things I want to discuss before we actually jump into that. First things first, you can find me on social media at What We Gonna Do Pod. That's GONE. That's Twitter and Instagram. If you would like to support the show, please visit patreon.com/What We Gonna Do. If you are thinking about starting a podcast and you want to start one right after you hear this, please go to podbean.com/What We Gonna Do and get a free 30 days of unlimited hosting on me. Try it out. They have a mobile app. They got a website. They're always pushing out new stuff. Very reliable podcast host. Podbean.com/What We Gonna Do. If you would like to email me, just shoot something over to whatwegonnado@gmail.com. Again, that's whatwegonnado@gmail.com with any comments, concerns, questions, etc. Also, feel free to hit me in the DMs. Instagram or Twitter, I do answer. I'm a pretty friendly guy. It's all right. Hit me up. This week has been interesting, to say the least. The Cavs got a sweep. They were the last team out of the first round. They the first team out of the second round. LeBronto? That was cold-blooded. That was cold-blooded from the announcer, but it is what it is. And what they say, he's just got our number. The Cavs just got our number. Whatever the hell they said. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. I ain't gonna go through like everything that happened this week, but I did want to call out a few things that I observed in music that I just wanted to give a little light to, just some honorable mentions. First, Book of Ryan, which was released not this past Friday, but the Friday before, I want to say. This is my favorite album of the year so far. Victory Lap would be number 2. That is Nipsey Hussle. Dope album. Dope-ass album. And this is actually Royce's best album to me. I like that he got personal and really did something different. You know what I mean? I've never really been the biggest fan of Royce, but this album by far is my favorite of the year and to me his best album. The skits was dope. I've watched several interviews, and this is one of those albums that is like cement to a catalog of music. Like, it's just something that really is going to stick and really cement his legacy, in my opinion. Like, this is one of those, like, climactic before everything else, you know what I mean? Like, if he decided not to put any other projects out after this, I think I would feel good. I think he would feel good too. I think he said, in one of the interviews, like, this is the best album that he's ever made. And he'll never make another album like this because it's so personal. Without this type of album, there's so much of the picture as far as Royce that never gets painted. I've been playing this back to back. Let me be clear. I was not a fan of Pablo Boat as a single. And even after many listens, I felt like Cole could have picked a different song to add to, like, that song. And the flow of the album doesn't need a verse from Cole. Even in the verse, he says he don't know anything about Pablo Boat. I didn't know what the fuck that shit meant until I listened and saw the interviews and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And I get Cole's verse, but I was just like, it just wasn't needed. You know what I mean? We have that from J. Cole's catalog, but Hey, it's a J. Cole verse. It's like getting a J verse. Anytime you get certain verses, you just put them shits out there. It don't matter. It's just like, hey, I got the verse. Jay-Z, Drake, Kendrick. Let me just slap this shit on somewhere. So, I wasn't really feeling Bob Lobo. But, dope album overall. The production is on point. Like I said earlier, I love the skits. I love the flow of the album. My favorite songs are Woke, Cocaine, and Amazing. I'm not even going to tell y'all about those songs. Just go out and check them out. Shrimp Life 3. Shrimp 3. Whatever the hell you want to call it. Ray Shrimmer. I listened to a tense interview with the Breakfast Club. And they talked about why they did a triple album. Slim Jimmy, he wasn't really trying to hear that shit. He was like, it seemed like he was just getting tired of Charlamagne. Even when I put up the video, I say, damn, why is this interview like 24, 26 minutes? I'm like, oh shit, something must be going on or whatever. So of course, as I'm watching the interview, if you go and check out the Breakfast Club, you know why I'm saying it was tense. But after listening to the album, it made sense why people need to chill with all the separation. Everybody keeps trying to separate him. He's a superstar. He's this. He's the Beyonce. Da 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 da. They are far better together than they are separately. There are a few rappers like 2 Chainz. I have to use 2 Chainz because he is relevant and people are familiar with 2 Chainz, who is just as dope or better solo as they were in the group. I'm going to say that again. There are a few rappers like 2 Chainz who are just as dope or better as they were in their respective groups. It don't always happen like that. You know what I mean? For people to continue to be successful, even without being in the group, there have been a lot of hip-hop groups. Like, if you really look at it. But out of those hip-hop groups, who all made it really successful solo? Not like locally successful or regionally successful, but like big, like boom, just I'm on my own. I'm as big as I was in the group or bigger than that. Beyonce. I mean, it doesn't happen a lot. You know what I mean? I really want to hit that home. My favorite songs off of this album was Offshore and Changed Up. Changed Up I really fuck with. Certain songs I feel like I can relate to, and this is one of those. It's just an honest song. And it is Slim Jimmy. Now the other one, Offshore, is Sway Lee, I want to say. And it's featuring Young Thug. I really don't give a damn about Young Thug verse or whatever, but I mean, I like the song. You know what I mean? I think it's a good song. Even without Young Thug, but I'm not even going to get into that. I didn't even write that down. I'm just adding that because anytime I have to bring up Young Thug, I didn't even like this song because of Young Thug, but then I was like, fuck, I do kind of like this song. I don't give a damn about him being on the song, but I'm like, damn, I still like the song. So I'm going to go ahead and give it props. Shrimp 3, I think, is not their best album, but it has a lot of potential. I really want to say their best album is the second one. I can't remember. I'll have to listen to the first 2, but I really want to say the second one was probably their best one. Had a lot more hits, I think, than the first one. The first one is like probably my favorite, but I think the second one was probably their best. Oh shit. Y'all ought to know what this next one is. K.O.D. J. Cole. Off rip, I wasn't interested just off the cover art and track list. I said on Twitter, and I quote, okay, and here I am thinking this was going to sound like the score to a 1980s Spike Lee film before I heard track 1. Now that was before I listened. I really thought, just go listen to a 1980s Spike Lee film's score, and then you know what the hell I'm talking about or whatever. Really strong message and almost a direct contrast to Damn. Because I felt like, man, Damn was really really good, but it had songs that were catchy. It had songs that were pop or popular or whatever the case may be. Not to say that KOD doesn't, but I definitely think Damn was the present. Like everything with Damn, it's almost like KOD is literally the same thing as Damn, but in a different way, in a more subtle way. He's still spitting, you know what I mean? He's showing his rapping ability off, but I would have liked some more like hard fire shit. This, it is what it is. Strong message, but again, not the same grandness. Subtle, almost. But he's spitting and playing with flows throughout the album. The message on KOD is going to last. I'm glad they kept their word, that from a certain point, album-wise, it's now about the message with them. By them and they, I mean Kendrick and J. Cole. I think there were several interviews where they were talking about they were talking, and they kind of came up with these decisions, and just everything is about what are you saying? How are the people receiving it? How are you helping people with their lives? You gotta be conscious of your audience and how many people you can reach with your voice, and you can't just put out anything and everybody consumes it and you're not really contributing, but you're actually taking away. Something like that. I really want Cole to just make a mixtape or drop 2 albums like Royce. Because like I said, I want that fire shit. Like, I know he's not going to make a mixtape. He probably not going to drop 2 albums. I mean, again, he did allude to it on the intro. But whatever album that is, I am not looking forward to that one either. I'm sorry, man. And I'm a J. Cole fan, but Born Center was my favorite album. Like, I think everything before Born Center and before, I really fuck with all of that. Everything after that, it's been like so-so and spotty. I think obviously he's had some really strong songs, but album-wise, have not been my personal favorites. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. It did take several listens, but I got the point. I really had to sit down and let the music digest, because first listen, I was like, second, third, fourth, I was like, all right. And then I just kind of had it on rotation because I knew he was saying so much. Even though he was being playful and playing with the different bars and playing with the different flows and his content, even though, again, there was a layer of seriousness, he was saying a lot of shit, and I really had to like really just sit and digest that album. Cole obviously been cooking up on the low. He dropped the album and visuals. So you know this nigga been working. Then he just released the tour recently. He going on tour and all this other stuff. But he going on tour with Young Thug, which is, I don't even know. I'm again, I'm gonna hold my tongue on that. Even he came down here to Dallas this past weekend. They had Jambalaya Fest, and he was there with all Migos and all these other motherfuckers, Cardi B, whatever. And I was like, nope, not going. No, I could have went to just see him, but I'm pretty much done with festivals, man. Being out in a crowd full of niggas, you gotta stand up. You can't sit down. It's kids, people drinking, all kind of shit going on. You can't go piss. You gotta stay where you are to keep your spot. I'm not about that life no more. I fucked around and been to hurt somebody. Like, I just be getting too frustrated with people bumping into me, kicking my chair, and people pushing towards the front and all that type of shit. I leave that to the kids. Like, festivals are for kids, in my opinion. That shit is not for adults. Unless you got the energy to participate and be a part of that, it just ain't for me. Like, it's like niggas in mosh pits. I could probably do a mosh pit when I was younger. You know what I mean? I done definitely gotten crunk in some clubs, and niggas is doing all kind of stuff, pushing people around, throwing punches, bows, whatever the case may be. And yeah, maybe when I was in junior high, but man, I am grown. I can't do it. That shit ain't for me no more, man. So I was like, nah, I'm good. My favorite songs, KOD and Kevin's Heart. I think Kevin's Heart was just really well done. And the fact that he got Kevin Hart in the video or whatever just kind of puts the icing on top or whatever. But I really like them two songs. KOD, obviously, because Cole is spitting just off rip. That's like the next song after the intro is like the intro song, whatever the case may be. Like, it really sets the tone. Well, it really don't set the tone. It sets a mood, and then the tone varies throughout the album with the same message. Another mention, I have not listened to Post Malone or Designer shit. No Life of Designer, no Beer Bongs and Bentleys or whatever the fuck the name of Post Malone album is. I just wanted to throw that out there. But I do fuck with Too Heartless. Shout out to Moneybag. If y'all don't know what that is, take this back a few seconds. Listen to what I said again, because I'm not going to say it again. All right. Now we about to get into the nitty gritty of the episode. This is not going to be a long episode, but it is about music. And again, this is America. First, let me briefly talk about the SNL performance nobody seems to be talking about of This Is America. Then we will dive into the video. So I knew he was going to be on Saturday Night Live, but of course I didn't catch it. So I'm hearing about all these little things, Saturday Night Live, the performances, and I see that he debuted a new song, so on and so forth. So I'm like, okay. You know, they did the whole thing where it was Donald Glover featuring musical guests, Childish Gambino. All right, that's normal. He's been doing that, you know, for a long time. I mean, that's nothing new. What he did on SNL was almost as equally weird as the music video. Let me get that out off rip. Because, of course, it comes into view, and this nigga ain't got no shirt on, man. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to get to that later on or whatever. But I'm like, all right, here this nigga go again, man. Childish Gambino is a motherfucker, man. And I'm a Childish Gambino fan. Like, I became a fan around because of the internet. Probably like a little bit before. So when I say that, I know what type of artist he is. I've seen his performances. This is not coming from some type of different space. It comes from the fact that I know this nigga. Like, the shit that he does. Very talented dude. Very talented dude. But that has nothing to do with some of the shit he does and the clothing choices that he has made over the years or whatever. But whatever. So he on stage, shirtless, with the kids doing some choreographed dance, while he switches vibe back and forth like the video. You know, he's rapping, he's changing his facial expressions, he's changing the mood to go along with the flow, and the kids are they kind of just beside him, kind of doing their own thing. They still got them same old looking ass clothes like they did in the video or whatever, but they was getting it in, you know what I'm saying? They was going off, but he just sat there, one mic, and kind of stayed there. He was making almost like satirical faces as he rapped through the song to just kind of put emphasis on different words. A little over halfway through, he started moving around and, you know, doing different things. He did a little dancing kind of in space, but he tried to stay in a certain point because eventually he was going to have these lights around him. But anyway, a little over halfway through, they were now covered with red and blue lights, like police lights at this point, on SNL. And the kids had kind of moved around him to kind of form a circle, and they were dancing on the other side at this point. Then it kind of keeps going, and he gets to his breakdown and dance. Now he's actually covered in spiral lights, you know, doing that same breakdown kind of where he did it in the video, where he was just kind of doing his own thing or whatever. The red lights played the background because he was kind of covered in blue lights, but you could see these red lights kind of popping out. Again, before it was like red lights and blue lights kind of mixing like a police car or something like that. It actually ends on an almost serious note with him actually stepping out of the frame, and then you see the child coming in and dancing all the way out. But he's now fully out of frame at this point. I wanted to talk about that because, again, nobody's talking about it. And I kind of wanted to juxtapose it against the video. And then I'm also going to talk just briefly about listening to the song without the context of the video, without the visuals, without the feel. What I would recommend is while you're listening to this, grab another device, pull up the video and turn the volume off on the video. And then just listen as I'm kind of talking through this. First, my initial thoughts was that the video was weird. Like I said before, I saw the video before I saw the SNL performance, before anything. I didn't fully get the point with the violence being so in your face, but then the song and the funny nature of the video distracted me because I was just trying to understand. This is my initial reaction. These are my initial thoughts. Again, this nigga standing there with the beard, with the hair, no fucking shirt on. You know what I mean? So yes, I thought the video I was just like, oh shit, here you go. I knew there was some shit going on. You know what I mean? Because I didn't even know he had a song out until I seen it come across IG. And of course I see IG and I see this nigga dancing and I see the captions, everybody, this is America. And I said, oh shit, let me check this out. I figured maybe it was a reply to the Kanye shit, but I didn't know. The first time I listened, I was just like, okay. Like at this point, like when I see shit and I know they doing it for a purpose, it really don't get me. Damn was something different. This was like, okay, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, powerful, blah, blah, blah. That was the first time I listened and actually watched it. I didn't like the imagery of him shooting the choir. I actually had to stop the video and rewind. Like, did I miss something? Like, I was just like, what the fuck just happened? And I even listened to an interview with Charlemagne talking to Michael B. Jordan today. And he kind of talked about that was one part of the video that he didn't like. He said he would have rather had it been someone white because optics, it just looks like black on black violence. I don't think it would have made a difference. I think those who know, and those who don't. I think that you get the point. It was just like, damn, it was just like, you know what I mean? Like that part really struck me. After several views, things kind of changed and I had a different perspective. So again, take it all the way back to the beginning of the video. 20 seconds into the video, I realized he was standing behind the pole the whole time. You know, he was there. If you watch the video, 20 seconds in, he's there, turned around. Like it's a weird video, whatever y'all want to say. It's a weird fucking video. The video starts off with a seemingly lighthearted tone, just Gambino vibing in what appears to be an empty warehouse. At 53 seconds, it's like, damn, what the fuck? The whole mood changes. He raps, "This is America," after shooting a black man whose head is now covered, but was previously just having a good time playing his guitar. Then his body is dragged away while the gun is then wrapped up and handed off. Now, a riot seems to be going on in the background. Gambino's facial expressions are almost chilling, like he's on something. Because as all of this different stuff going on, and he's rapping, and he's kind of walking, and he just got through shooting somebody, and the tone changed, his facial expressions are just like chilling. 1:49. He enters a door where there's a choir singing the breakdown of the hook in an upbeat, lighthearted, even happy setting. Then it switches again with him gunning down the choir with an AK, and his facial expression back to an eerily serious and almost emotionless frame. If you listen, you can hear all the rioting as the backdrop of the video. Like it seems to, at least to me, to start getting louder as you go further and further into the video. All kinds of chaos going on, and you can see a man jump out of the sky between the 2:14 and 2:15 mark, like he's ready to die. Some people have said he committed suicide, whatever the case may be. But when I caught it, I said, "Oh shit!" I was like, "What the the hell was that? I had to rewind it. You can also see what appears to be some officers in riot gear. Like if you really pay attention, you can see like different figures that appear to be in some type of riot gear. And of course you see all the black kids kind of running around, jumping on top of cars, shooting money guns, and just doing all different types of stuff. Then the video pans, showing kids amongst the rioting, just recording on their smartphones. Like they literally just sitting there with masks on, just recording. Like, you know, like it's a regular day. Not getting up to take any kind of action, not getting up to doing, you know, just sitting there recording. Around 2:44, he raps. They're gonna find you like blah, blah. And everybody who's been dancing with him runs off like they're in danger. 2:59, he takes out a joint and lights up. It's almost a digression from all the shit that happened before. It gets a little quiet. Around 3:14, he starts the get down, which is probably my favorite part of the video, outside of seeing the kids getting down and dancing to the video, and of course, Gambino hitting all the new dances. The first go round, I was like, is that SZA? What is she doing? Just chilling, looking good. Gambino continues to dance in the fainting shot of him amongst abandoned cars. They kind of zooming out, but they keeping that shot, that straight ahead shot of him as they're zooming out. The video ends with him running scared, darkness behind him. Then a crowd emerges with, at first, just looks like some white folks, and then you see the larger crowd. Had this song came out without the video, it would have sent a completely different wave. It still grabs you, but not like the video in the way that you can feel it. Looking at the lyrics on Genius, you can see how he changes the tone back and forth, but it's almost seamless outside of the changing beat. The song is just over the top, braggadocious, nothing of substance, and not even a lyrical exercise, just repetition of the same points of clout. The whole song seems to capture carelessness. The outro, which is Young Thug, is probably the most informative part of the song, just summing up the duality of one side, how we view the world, versus the other, how the world views us, which could barely be understood in the video. And by that I mean, everybody know y'all couldn't understand what the hell Young Thug was talking about in that damn video, so I had to look it up on Genius. And before I forget, let me talk about the imagery. There's a lot of speculation around all these different meanings. But again, I said, damn, why this nigga got his shirt off? I really did. I was just like, why you get? Anyway, Gambino always on some other shit with his outfits, like I said before. But doesn't the nigga look like Django Unchained? Like, come on, man. Y'all know this nigga look like Django. Django. And clearly, we see some post-slavery, pre-desegregation clothing. Some people say it's like around Jim Crow. I don't exactly know the time frame, but clearly the imagery is very important. The dancing, the movements. I don't know what everything means, and some people are saying, man, maybe I'm too woke to be giving this explanation. But there are several pictures with him posing that resemble other pictures in history, not just some minstrel show stuff and just, I see it, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that it isn't, but I can't wait to see what he actually says about this and where his thoughts was, and as far as the director and kind of things of that nature. It's a good song, but I always feel like songs like this are out of place, and there's a bigger picture to be seen. Like, this song is really just like, I don't know what to make of it without the full message. It's just kind of like loose. Very strong video, but the song is kind of loose until you really get to hear the full body of work and see its placement. So I ask y'all, this is America. Is that a question or a statement? Are we too busy and caught up with bullshit to pay attention to real shit, even if it doesn't directly affect us until it's too late? That's kind of how I saw that video. We're too busy and caught up with bullshit to pay attention to real shit, even if it doesn't directly affect us, just like in the video, until it's too late. I've been on this message. This is America. Last thing. What's funny is that he had this video and song on deck for a minute. Or he just cut his beard. But I don't think so. I'm not going to fact check the nigga beard though. But clearly, SNL, no beard. Video drops, full beard. So he been cooking up. Same way like J. Cole. He been having some shit going on. He been cooking up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to see what else actually comes out of this. This is not going to be long, as I said before. I hope that made sense and y'all got something out of it. Go back and watch that video a few times. Go check out the SNL performance. And let me know what y'all think. Hit me up. Let me know what y'all think about the podcast. Let me know what y'all think about the video. Let me know what y'all think about the SNL performance. Let me know what y'all think about the song just by itself without the video and the performance. Again, this is AJ. This is the What We Gonna Do podcast. Remember, you can find me on social media at What We Gonna Do Pod. If you would like to support the show, visit patreon.com/What We Gonna Do. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, go to podbean.com/What We Gonna Do and get a free 30 days of unlimited hosting. Email me, whatwegonnado@gmail.com. Remember to like, share, repost, follow me. Help me out with this show. I need y'all. I appreciate all of my new followers. I appreciate all of my old followers. I'm glad y'all still rocking with me. Just keep doing what you're doing. There are more things and bigger and better things on the horizon. All right, y'all. That's it. I'm gone. This is America. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now.